Let's go.
Hey, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Another recap and review as we progress through the third round. Really thought a lot would be different with lesser contestants, so maybe more decent screen time for the other contestants, but nope. Same crap but with more filler, as Mnet still wants to maintain their narrative by disregarding some impactful scenes that can basically change the perceptions for a lot of contestants. But yeah, the takeaway from the last episode were for the most part just contestant related highlights. These included Umuti, whose edit was a big feels bad considering how much he'd given for that performance only to get paid dust. Jongwoo, who's been a real dark horse that's been climbing up with not as much acknowledgement for this impressive progress. Hortek in regards to his comments about himself and what it means for his likelihood to debut, and Wang Juhao appreciation, which I think I'm just manifesting at this point. Other than that, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel, but without further ado, let's recap episode 9. It starts off with a preview of what's to come, and once again, a lot more struggles that all the teams will seem to go through. Then we're shown the farewells directly after the eliminations, before a transition of what each team looks like post-eliminations. Switch and Supercharger suffered massively. As a result, they got to go to other teams to appeal for new members to join them. Other than that, the other members ultimately had the final choice in deciding who actually left. In terms of practice with the newly finalized teams, I go through the unaired teams before I go through the aired performances teams. For Switch, they got on pretty well, with only issues being Tere keeping up with the dance. For Over Me, also pretty chill. For Say My Name, it starts off with the clip from last week's preview in which Matthew says he should have left for the Switch team instead. Then we kind of rewind it back to see what really happened, and so during the redistributing the parts, everything went smoothly. However, when it actually came to the practice, Matthew and Songgun, their parts kind of fell off, which other members thought that they should potentially switch their parts to see how it sounded, and yeah, it sounded better. They kind of agreed it was better to switch the roles, but they tried to explain how it's better for them as a team, but Matthew still didn't want to admit defeat. He was scared that he wouldn't stand out if he switched roles, but also he kind of faced similar struggles with Kill This Love as well. And then he adds on to the fact that he wanted his mum to be able to listen and understand him singing, because his initial sub-vocal one role was mostly English parts. Obviously, all valid reasons to want to fight to keep his role, but it was low-key giving emotional manipulation. It was giving Gaslight King. It was giving I Am Sok Matthew vibes. Like, yeah, it was heavily exaggerated and edited to make it seem intenser than it probably was, but I could kind of see both sides in regards to reacting to his reasoning. In saying that, it really looks like there's only one side, which is in defense of Sok Matthew. But yeah, we don't see the performance until next week, so there's likely more clips to come and potentially a resolution for this Mnet Evil edited drama. For Supercharger, it doesn't look the best at first, as most of them have lost some confidence from being kicked out of their original team. The choreo being a bit harder and the concept not really suiting half of them. Due to the difficulty of the choreo, everyone makes varying mistakes, with the master check up 12 hours after their group was formed. It doesn't go well considering the short amount of time that they've been together, but they do get a bit of help from the masters. After the help, there's a small clip of Ollie saying he kinda wants to give up before we hit a motivational speech from Haruto. This was kind of like the last thing, as a training montage is shown of their 3 days that they were given. Slight mini rant, but the absolute disrespect to once again hide Wang Juhao. I read and interacted with people who had testimonials from kind of what had happened, and from what was shown, it seems like Haruto, for the most part, looked like he was the only one kind of lifting up his team and kind of helping maintain this morale. But Wang Juhao not only helped Takudo and Ollie majorly with the choreo, he helped change the choreo so it would be a bit easier for the others to dance to, and he kind of was Haruto's backup and his support, and I guess an unofficial co-leader, and that's why they initially embraced at the end of the performance before it became a group hug. I'm not sure people do research beyond just the episode that they watched, but I really hope that the performance at least was impactful for viewers to put him on the radar at the minimum. But yeah, finally for On Guard, there was a greater focus on both killing part nominees still being there. So there was a final audition to determine who got the role, which it ended up going to Ganuk. They also played a prank on him shortly after, in which Songhwan wanted another final chance and successfully took the killing part away from Ganuk. But yeah, from the master checkup, it was deemed disappointing because it was okay, but not really good. From the sounds of it, I think they were kind of referring to maybe not performing all out, like that type of vibe, but not sure if that's what they were referring to. They discussed their feedback as a team afterwards and then trained harder before they perform. We are then shown D-Day's audience members, which includes previously eliminated trainees as well. As well as that, audiences are shown a special segment of their interim performance for relatives of the remaining contestants. They also incorporate a game aspect beforehand to see what type of amenities that they can earn to help them with this interim performance, which once again wasn't necessary to add this filler in. But yeah, it ended emotionally as the review papers got read out with personalized praises from their relatives, inspiring them to continue. For my review, I'll do the same thing that I've been doing. I'll review the performances, then I'll review the winner. For Supercharger, it was a good 50-50 of being alright. Some of them really tried their best in camouflaging into the concept, but it wasn't completely effective to me. Wang Juhao's styling was so distinct compared to everyone else and almost kind of looked like Kai from EXO during the Eve era. But yeah, him and Haruto were notable standouts for sure. As for the winner, it went to Haruto, which I could see, but my god, low-key would have been such an amazing feeling if Wang Juhao won though. For On Guard, it was good. I don't know if it was just me, but I could see ATEEZ doing a song like this, so I think I had a bit of high expectations of getting like ATEEZ energy, but can't really compare the two also at the same time. Notable standouts included Junhyun for his high note, as well as Ganuk's aura, which is just like, it really suited this song. As for the winner, that went to Cuban, which I'm confused about. He's pretty similar to Han Yujin in that their appeal has slowly been dropping for me compared to other contestants here now. But yeah, we ended off with Say My Name being introduced with a quick little intro setup for their song. Final thoughts. I guess we kind of have an understanding of the last few episodes based on how much they've stretched this episode. Next week looks to be finishing off the third round and the announcement of the winners. Also, they showed random sections of the interim rankings, and notable new rankings is a high jump of Cha Eun-gi at 18th, Rookie, who's now in the debut lineup, at 8th, and Kim Cuban, who dropped out of the debut lineup to now 16th. The whole showing small sections of ranking is real mind games. In saying that, with the amount of votes viewers get, one pick is starting to shift rankings, as the next elimination might show us the impacts of filler votes. As for my top 9, I want to say I'm pretty content with it. 8 out of 9 of them are pretty done deals for staying the same to the finale. My honorable mention goes to Kim Junhyun, who continues to show his amazing skills. He's really like the perfect blend of Winja's comedy with like Yonggun's skills. As for my top 3, it'll still be Wang Juhao, Keita, and Park Gun-woo. The rest of my top 9 still hasn't changed also. The rest are Jae, Song Han-bin, Jang Hao, Yu Sung-gun, Kim Ji-yoon, and Park Han-bin. But yeah, that's it for the recap and review. Thanks for watching, and let me know your thoughts about these performances, who you're anticipating for next week, and thoughts on the interim rankings that were revealed, and what you think maybe the potential implications might be. Other than that, my next video will be my fortnightly video, so please like and subscribe to keep up to date, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!